This is what scientists found at the bottom of Niagara Falls that left them so disturbed. Back in the summer of 1969, a group of engineers had found the long-hidden secret of Niagara Falls. The moment they realized how to stop them from flowing, they ventured upon succeeding in it. Yet no one was afraid of the unknown from beneath, and they should have been. You might think this was a mission impossible to stem the flow of Niagara Falls, but for these scientists, nothing was impossible. So then, in 1969, its hidden gems were about to get revealed. Whether you first seen in the falls in person or a video, you were surely amazed by their vastness. Now millions of tourists visit it every year and post there. Pictures on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Many of them are even writing blogs and even making vlogs about the falls, explain their impressions and excitement. Surely words cannot describe everything. Nor can the camera depict the real sensations one can get at the actual site. So everyone should visit Niagara Falls at least once in their lives. Still, the site wasn't as amazing 5 decades ago when the scientists decided to investigate it. When the scientists decided to look behind the scenes of Niagara Falls, they had no clue what might be dwelling underneath. The moment they announced what their plans were, the public eye was set upon them. Many people wanted to witness this extraordinary moment in history. Tempering. Nature is always a challenge. So many wondered if these people could do it. Were their plans based on real possibilities or just wishful thinking? Still, the moment the amount of water in the falls started to recede, the spectators trust in the scientists started to fall apart. Well, about 18,000 years in the past, to be precise. Niagara Falls didn't exist. They were formed when ice sheets came from the North Pole, leaving behind the great areas of the landscape today, known as North America. It was not until a huge chunk of ice melted that the falls came into existence. Upon the melting of the glaciers, a vast amount of water was sent into the Niagara River. The falls didn't form immediately. A lot of time had to pass to let the water erode the cliffs, and thus form the falls as we know them today. Today, Niagara Falls stands as a natural border between two similar yet very different countries, Canada and the United States. Even though they have been visited by many people from around the world, it is not known how long ago they started getting visitors. We can only assume that the locals were enjoying their beauties long before the world found out about them. There are no written records about their first visitors nor the first domestic admirers. What is known is that many different indigenous communities lived in their neighborhood. The man who did that was Father Louis Hennepin, who went to Niagara Falls in search of a new France. At least, that was the name they gave to this part of North America. 5 years after he returned from the falls, Father Louis Hennepin put his thoughts and impressions on the paper. He wrote a new discovery article in which the name of the falls first appeared. So basically, as a term, Niagara Falls came into existence in the year 1683. Father Louis Hennepin became famous as the first person from Europe who saw Niagara Falls. After that, many visitors from Europe came to see the beauty they read about. So basically, about years after its discovery, the first tourists from Europe came to see and admire the vastness of the amazing waterfalls. At this time, the first serious business people and hoteliers mostly realized the full potential of the place, so they started making lucrative investments in the land around the waterfall. Even with its beginnings as a tourist destination, Niagara Falls lured honeymooning couples to its site, and it has remained a favorite destination of newlywed couples even today. The only difference is that in the 1800s, there were few places where people could spend their money, and today everything is overpriced. Not only did the people who wanted to enjoy their free time and relax a bit come to Niagara Falls, but even serious industries had also seen the good sides of this site. They realized the huge potential the falls had. They realized they could make use of the waterfall to power their factories and also mills. At the end of the 19th century, the world's first hydroelectric generating station was built near Niagara Falls. Even though the new hydroelectric generating station was a revolutionary invention, it wasn't able to carry electricity to long distances, only up to 3,300 feet. One day, a famous scientist by the name of Nikola Tesla came and made a huge impact on the world we know today. Even some stunt people came here to make their own shows and try to do the impossible, to jump from thefts into the water and then swim towards the shore. Those people who were present while Niagara waters started receding were telling stories about their personal feelings about the findings beneath. Upon spotting the skeletons, they described how small and fragile they felt upon those immortal, omnipotent, and unpredictable waters. Even the engineers who took that operation on their backs admitted they didn't know it would have been such a difficult undertaking. When they realized that removing the rock was actually a bad idea, they decided to build up the men. Ted. Still, even that solution wasn't a perfect one, since the dam would have weakened the American Falls. Finally, they gave up on that idea. Also, an announcement was made back in 2016 by the Niagara Frontier State Park Commission, saying that their plans include checking the bottom of the falls in the near future. We can hardly wait for it to happen. We hope there will be some lies. Streaming for the social media users interested to look beyond. What do you think? What other waters should be temporarily dried out simply to check what secrets their riverbeds hide? We can only assume what could be found at the bottoms of other waterfalls, rivers, or even seas. What are your thoughts?